You're listening to an African Elements top news story for March 21st, 2025. Please visit our website at africanelements.org for more daily news. Trump dismantling Department of Education order impact by Darius Spearman. Trump education policy shift. In a move that sent shockwaves through the education world, President Trump signed an executive order initiating the dismantling of the Department of Education. The order directs then Education Secretary Linda McMahon to begin the process of shutting down the department and transferring its authority back to the states. For many in the Black community, this raised immediate concerns about the future of educational equity and access. The administration justified this action by pointing to declining academic performance nationwide. Specifically, Trump cited statistics showing that 70% of 8th graders are below proficient in reading and 72% in math, alongside 40% of 4th graders lacking basic reading skills. However, these numbers don't tell the whole story, particularly regarding the systemic disparities in educational opportunities and outcomes within the Black community. Federal education overhaul hurdles. The road to actually dismantling the Department of Education is paved with significant legal and legislative challenges. The agency cannot simply be wished away, it requires congressional approval. Specifically, abolishing the department would necessitate 60 votes in the Senate, which included at least 7 Democratic votes at the time. Reaching this level of bipartisan support is exceedingly difficult in the existing political climate. Beyond the legislative branch, the executive order faces legal opposition. Democratic attorneys general moved swiftly, filing a lawsuit that challenged staff reductions as unconstitutional. Moreover, this lawsuit highlights a crucial concern for Black communities: the potential for rapid, destabilizing changes to an institution that, despite its flaws, plays a vital role in safeguarding educational equity. Student loan management changes and funding. The administration has stated that core federal programs will continue during this transition. This assurance includes programs like student loans, Pell Grants, and Title I funding. They will supposedly still be operational. For many Black students and families who rely on these programs, this is a necessary, albeit temporary, relief. However, significant cuts are already underway in key areas. The Office of Civil Rights and Federal Student Aid are facing substantial reductions, including the closure of regional offices. Subsequently, these cuts raise serious questions of federal oversight and enforcement of civil rights in schools, a cornerstone of protecting Black students from discrimination. School funding controversy and equity critics argue that the dismantling of the Department of Education threatens to worsen educational inequalities. The National Education Association predicts increased class sizes, reduced support for special education, and weakened civil rights protections. These fears are particularly acute within the Black community, where historical and ongoing systemic disparities already create significant challenges. Public opinion also reflects these concerns. A poll by Data for Progress showed that 48% of voters strongly oppose eliminating the department, while only 17% support it. It seems many understand the importance of protecting education, dismantling Department of Education bureaucracy. The reduction of the Department of Education's bureaucracy is proceeding at a rapid pace. Staff has been cut by nearly 50% since January 2025, including half of the Office of Federal Student Aid. Simultaneously, these cuts were implemented while the department's workload is considerable. The Education Department spent $200 billion during COVID and manages $1.6 trillion in student loans. The scale of these operations underscores the potential disruption caused by rapid downsizing. Also, it raises serious questions about the capacity of states to effectively absorb these responsibilities. Title I and Black students. Title I funding stands as a critical lifeline for many Black students. This federal program, established in 1965, provides over $18 billion annually to schools with high numbers of low-income students. This funding supports a range of programs and services. Some of the main ones are tutors, reduced class sizes, and mental health services. The purpose of Title I is to address systemic poverty gaps. With 37% of Black students attending high-poverty schools compared to just 7% of white students, this funding is essential for ensuring equitable educational opportunities. Proposed cuts or delays to Title I could dramatically exacerbate existing inequities, especially in states that heavily rely on federal support for their schools. Office of Civil Rights cuts. The Office of Civil Rights, OCR, within the Department of Education, plays a crucial role in enforcing anti-discrimination laws. These laws include Title VI and Title IX. Cuts to the OCR's budget and staffing would significantly weaken protections against racial and gender discrimination in schools. Without robust OCR oversight, there's a real risk of resegregation and increased disparities in school discipline, contributing to the school-to-prison pipeline that disproportionately affects Black students. Consequently, the OCR serves as a vital safeguard. They ensure all students have equal access to educational opportunities. They also protect them from discriminatory practices. Historical context of DOE. The creation of the Department of Education was closely tied to the Civil Rights Movement and the landmark Brown v. Board of Education decision. The DOE was established to help and ensure desegregation, a process met with resistance from those who sought to maintain racial segregation in schools. Dismantling the DOE raises concerns about a potential return to an era of greater educational inequality and weakened civil rights enforcement. The historical context underscores the importance of federal oversight in protecting the educational rights of Black students and other marginalized groups. Moreover, without a strong federal presence, there is a risk that state and local control could lead to a rollback of progress made over the past several decades. Copyright African Elements